Spurs come to Little Caesars Arena last night, and they get the win 114-103 over the Detroit Pistons. This is everything that we pretty much thought it was going to be. A very tough, very physical, very tightly contested matchup. But the Pistons did get off to a little bit of a slow start in that one. 14-2 lead for the Spurs in the first couple of minutes. And then the Pistons, they went on a run of their own, finished the first on a 25-10 run. And it was pretty much very close the next quarter of a half and very, very chippy as well. We did have a offensive foul from Cade Cunningham, and that led to some pushing and shoving and some words exchanged. And, very big matchup between these two teams. One of the best teams in the Western Conference. Definitely contender out there. And then the best in the East with the Detroit Pistons. And then it was the Spurs. Went on a little mini run there in the third, able to build up a double-digit lead, and they were able to maintain that through the rest of the game. And that was that. 114-103. And you could just see, I mentioned yesterday with Victor Wembenyama, how dynamic this guy is for the Spurs. 7'4". He has a crazy long wingspan. This guy is capable of blocking shots just by sticking his arm straight up. This guy doesn't even need to leave the ground, and he's capable of blocking shots, and he was racking those up tonight. Well, last night. He had 6 blocks. He did struggle offensively, 6 of 16 shooting, 21 points, 17 rebounds. But, just showing, even when he has a little bit of a down game shooting the ball, still able to make a huge impact defensively. And I mentioned, just when this guy's in the paint, you could see the Pistons really having to change their approach, because the Pistons are known for being more of an inside-out type of team, which brings an interesting dynamic, especially to today's three-point heavy shooting NBA. But with the Pistons last night, you could see every time they drove through the lane, they had to kind of stop, and you could see guys, he's right there just waiting for him. And that's how the Spurs defense is designed. Just funnel everybody to the basket right to Wembenyama so that he could just block shots. And the Pistons, they'd go down, they would stop, they'd hesitate, they'd pump fake, and if not pass out, they would be taking a very difficult shot if he wasn't outright blocking it. So just a display there of how tremendous this guy is, Victor Wembanyama, for the Spurs. And kind of like I imagined, he was going to make this Pistons team, who lives in the paint, really try to change their game plan in this one. And unfortunately, it did not work out for them. Did have a big game from Jalen Duren. 10 of 13 shoot. This guy's on a tear, by the way. All-Star game and post-suspension. 25 points, 14 rebounds. And Cade Cunningham, boy, rough game for him. He was absolutely locked down by Stephon Castle. 5 of 26 shooting for Cade Cunningham. 16 points. 6 rebounds, 10 assists. Reminds me of that Jalen Brunson game, I think the second matchup between the Pistons and Knicks this season, where Brunson had to get up a crazy amount of shots just to muster together 20 points or whatever. Kind of a similar game for Cade Cunningham. 5 of 26 shooting. Man, absolutely locked down. But it had a couple of other strong performances as well from the Pistons. 13 points off the bench 15 for Ron Holland off the bench, 11 rebounds. 13 for Duncan Robinson, although just 3 of 11 from 3. And then Paul Reed continuing his good stuff off the bench, filling that backup center role in place of the suspended Isaiah Stewart. 10 points, 5 rebounds on 5 of 8 shooting. But, yeah, some of those intangibles. The Pistons still, relatively controlled. A slight edge in the rebounds. And then points in the paint, 62-44. But you better bet the Pistons really had to work for each of those points in the paint. But interestingly enough, you would have thought with, that tough paint defense with Wembanyama, that the Spurs would probably have the edge in the points in the paint. But No, it was actually the 3-point shooting was all the difference in this one. 45% shooting, 18 of 40 from 3 for the Spurs. Meanwhile, just 7 of 36 shooting from 3, 19% for the Pistons the other way. They just couldn't shoot the ball inside or out last night. 38% shooting overall for the Pistons. So, I mean, defensive game in general, but specifically for the Pistons, man, this was some of the toughest defense that they have really seen all season, especially just that 3-point shooting. A plus 11 3-pointers made edge. That's a 33-point swing on the 3-point line, which is in the differential right there, which is crazy. But a huge game for Devin Vassell, 28 points, 10 of 14 shooting, 7 of 11 for 3. This guy was lights out. And then Stephon Castle, as I mentioned, who played great defense on Cade Cunningham in this game. He finishes with 16 points and 11 assists. And the Pistons, they have their short winning streak snapped of 5 games. And the Spurs, they stay red hot. That was their 9th consecutive win. They have not lost in the calendar month of February. Last game they lost was January 31st at the Charlotte Hornets. Talked about how hot they are as well out east. So Spurs get that win, and the gauntlet stretch, the toughest stretch of the season for the Pistons, continues on. They take on the Oklahoma City Thunder at home tomorrow. Then they got the Cavs on Friday, Magic on Sunday, easiest game of the stretch. Then they got the Cavs again on Tuesday, and then the Spurs again on Thursday. Both those Cavs-Spurs games on the road. And Oklahoma City Thunder, going to be a pretty tough opponent for the Pistons, even though they'll be without Shea Free Throw Alexander. Looks like they might be without Jalen Williams as well, their second best player. So the Thunder, they are dealing with some injuries right now, but again, this is a defending champion team. The biggest advantage that this Thunder team has, just like this Pistons team for that matter, is depth. Very deep team. And the Thunder they've shown a demonstrable ability, just like the Pistons, of being able to overcome injuries and being able to overcome guys being out, especially a guy of Shea Free Throw Alexander's caliber. As much as I like to knock him for the free throw shooting, at the end of the day, he's still a phenomenal player. So that's going to be, again, pretty tough stretch for the Pistons, as it obviously got underway with the Spurs handing the Pistons a loss. Pistons still in a good spot. 5-game lead over the Celtics to lead the Eastern Conference, and then 6 games over the Knicks, 7 games over the Cavs. So as long as the Pistons actually, I would say, at least go 500, 3-3 in this tough 6-game stretch, I think the Pistons should be fine moving forward, as long as they can, get through it. Now, if they have a bad run in this 6-game stretch, like hypothetically, I don't think they'll lose all 6, but if they go, let's say, like 1-5, or maybe even 2-4 in that stretch, then it's like, ugh. And because especially the Celtics and Knicks and Cavs, for that matter, all playing very good basketball. I mean, hey, we could see this lead atop the Eastern Conference shrink before our eyes, especially with 2 games against the Cavs in there. Could be pretty tough. Could be a big swing in the standings. So that'll definitely be something to watch out for in the coming weeks, really in the next week or so, with this Pistons team and this tough schedule that they have coming up. Again, next game tomorrow at home for the Pistons against the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder. Sans Shea Free Throw Alexander. It'll be 7:30 tomorrow.
If you missed today's installment of On the Docket, podcast it at foxsports1019.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to tune in live weekdays at noon on Jackson's Fox Sports 101.9 FM.